Hey friends, it's Freya at Spirit Healer Tarot. How are you? Thank you for all the subscribers that are sticking with me despite my long absence. And for the new folks, welcome to my channel. Um, I, you know, it's been a journey since Uranus transited into my sign. I'm a Taurus. I was really excited because I had this new deck that I wanted to use, and then Uranus kind of snapped into my sign and stuff sort of got discombobulated in my life. So I'm doing these now. It's the 4th of June today, and these readings will span from where we are now through the I can't even talk. September 21st. What is that called? The Fall Equinox? No. Oh my God. Spring Equinox. Yeah, the Fall Equinox. Solstice Equinox. It'll transit through to the Fall Equinox. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I was meditating for these readings, the guide that stepped forward to lead the readings this time around had a channeled message for everyone who's viewing, all signs. And that channeled message, if I can just tap in and remember correctly, it was tell them they are loved, tell them not to worry, tell them that the structures that are being dismantled at this time are for the greater good. So they're being dismantled for the greater good. Tell them it is high time to step into the new vibration. And tell them these readings will assist them and allow them to do that, to step into the new vibrations, the new cycle, so that a new cycle can begin for all of you, individually and collectively, for all of us collectively. So that was the guided message that I was being given to channel for the community this cycle. And that being said, please reach out to me if these are general readings. I'm reading for many people. If the readings sort of touch into specific themes that are going on in your life and structures are being dismantled, I've been doing some readings where tower cards are coming up over and over and over again, and it can be difficult to deal with that energy if you're not used to it, if you're not, if you're a fixed sign like I am. The tower energy can be challenging. So if you feel like there's stuff around you that's happening that you need support around, please reach out for a reading. I'm here to do that and to be that instrument for you to access divine. We all have that connection to divine energy, and sometimes, depending on what's going on for you, it can be hard to access your vibrations. So I go to my reader. She's amazing. If you guys have need of assistance with connecting to the divine, please reach out and let me know. Okay, with that being said, let's go to your readings. Hello again, everyone. So I forgot to mention during the intro that I'm using a new tarot deck. Dun, 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 dun. It's a beautiful one. It's called the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot by Uusi Publications. Each one is like custom sealed, so when you break it open, you're opening up a fresh deck that no one's ever touched before. These are the cards. They're amazing and beautiful, and just they feel like water in my hands, when I'm manipulating and shuffling them. So I really am enjoying working with them a lot. And the really cool thing about this deck is that they have 6 bonus cards. There's a card called the Seeker, which is really beautiful. And then they have moon cards for the different phases of the moon. There's the full moon, and there's the new moon, and all the different phases in between. So I'm really just enjoying working with this deck a lot. I hope you enjoy it as part of your reading. And we're going to clarify with a different deck. Most likely I'll use the Mother Peace deck to clarify the cards. And then as always, you will get an Oracle deck reading card at the end for some extra juice and some extra messages. Hi Leos, this is your reading. Welcome. On this channel I use my spirit name Freya. And I'm shuffling your cards, and I'm going to go ahead and say my prayer. Thank you for being here and being with me today. I ask that the white light surround us, the light of protection, understanding, and healing. I ask that my guides come through and speak clearly this day for our understanding. May all of my dear Leo viewers' intentions be heard and answered, please. And I ask that this reading be for the highest and best of all concerned. I ask this through all my teachers. I would like Leos to have love in their lives, to be in loving relationships, to have creative work that is fulfilling, and to always be guided towards their highest destiny. Thank you. And while I'm here, I'm going to also ask the benevolent beings to please close and bar all the entrances, gateways, and passages to any negative or harmful energies that might seek to insert themselves into this space or be attracted to this space. May they simply bounce off the force field we've created and go to where they're best suited. Thank you. Aho. I'm having a little trouble today, so I'm going to ask that the guides also help me what are the words I want to use? May they protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Oh. Okay, Leo, so this is your Uranus transit reading for the summer months from June through September 2018. The transit is going to go on for about 7-8 years. It's a long transit, but we've just changed signs into Taurus, and a lot of folks are feeling the rug pulled out from under them, or if not that dramatic, they're just feeling their world shaken up a little bit here and there. Things getting dismantled, etc. You've got the Four of Wands that just popped out. We'll see if that makes sense for your reading today. Okay, I feel like the shuffling's done. Let me just tune in to how many cards they want me to pull for you. All right, 5 cards it is. Let's see. The first card that wants to come for Leo for this reading. And the second card. Asking for a third card. And the sirens are going off out there, so some of you all are in high alert, high anxiety. Let's pull a third card for Leo. And a fourth card. And your spiritual guidance, the 5th card. That one doesn't want to come. Okay, and You got the Four of Wands earlier, and now the Five of Wands is popping up for you. So let's see what the cards have to say about your current state of affairs, your Uranus transit in Taurus. I'm mindful that the sirens are still going, so I'm as they're going, I'm like feeling anxiety in my belly. So let's see. Tune in to how they want me to lay the cards out. They're like, it doesn't matter, just lay them out. Okay, so I'll go in a line for you. First card out, Ten of Swords in reverse. Second card out is the King of Cups. The third card is the Justice card in reverse. Fourth card is the Page of Pentacles. And the fifth card is usually the spiritual guidance. It's the Three of Wands followed by the Five of Wands. Okay, what's going on for you, Leo? Let me just tune in. Uranus transit. And the sirens are still going. So there's some like alarm, great alarm that's going through the lives of some of my viewers out there. And as I say that, they're getting the sirens are just getting stronger up in the background. So it's like you're really worked up about something, and I'm, just looking at the cards, I'm feeling it to be the Ten of Swords energy in reverse. Something has ended, and this can sometimes be a really painful ending, a betrayal of some kind. And I feel like here was an ending. Here's the wish you have. It's not feeling just. Whatever happened isn't feeling fair. It's not feeling, or at least it's not feeling fair to you. The Justice card comes up to balance the scales, and you're just like, no, that was no good. And then there's a new gift coming in, the Page of Pentacles. And I don't know, the spiritual guidance is the Three of Wands in reverse. So I'm going to tune in and see if my guide has any specific message for the Leo viewers that are here viewing. And we'll go from there. Okay, what he's saying is allow yourselves to take in the magnitude of what just occurred in this, in the beginning of this Uranus transit. Something big has been shaken up for Leos, and or at least the ones that are that are finding themselves on my channel. And the work is to take in, like the King of Cups does, right? The King of Cups is the king who listens. He's very emotionally aware, adept, astute, and he listens, and he sees the injustice. Yeah, and it's like the king has turned his back on this Ten of Swords energy. I'll lift up the cards to show you. So here's the Ten of Swords energy. The king is sort of turning his back on that Ten of Swords. He's not being bothered by it. It's happened. He knows it's happened, but he, being the king, knows that there is no going back to this energy. It's done. So he's moving forward, and he's looking at the Justice in reverse card. And he's kind of offering a cup of, his emotions, his love, his waters to the Justice card. And it's almost like he's propitiating her to help assist in the balancing of the scales in his favor. And it's kind of that, it feels like that's the the next 3 months are you, you know, taking into account why things happened the way they did, maybe your role in the way things happened the way they did, and you're taking responsibility here and saying, okay, I see my role, I see my part, it wasn't all me, but I see my role, I see my part in what happened. What can I do to balance the scales? Right? And I feel like, spiritually speaking, if you do that, this new gift that the universe is going to give you will come in. The Page of Pentacles. Let me just tune into this card for a moment here. And this is the first time I'm using this deck, so I'll hold it up so you guys can see the beautiful drawing, the beautiful illustrations. I'm not sure if these are illustrations or paintings. They look like paintings, but I could be wrong. You know, they're very, it feels like medieval style stuff. I'm not really an art historian, but I was drawn to the beauty of the cards. And look at that pentacle. It's so rich, right? And the pages are messengers. So let me tune in and just see if there's a specific message for you regarding this page. So they're saying, tell them what you see. So what I see is there is a gift coming in. It's new. It's a page. It's a young idea, a young gift. It hasn't been planted in the ground yet. Right? He's giving you the pentacle so that you can plant it in the ground. But the spiritual guidance for this reading is the Three of Wands in reverse and clarified by the Five of Wands upright. So to me, what this says is that, you know, you're the king, right? You've been around the block. You know what's up. You know how to be creative. You know how to live life. This thing happened and you're putting it behind you, and there's this new idea that's coming through. But you've already got some wands planted in the ground, right? And I think what Spirit is telling me to share is that take a look around you for the wands that need to come out, that need to be uprooted. What are those projects? What are those creative ideas that, you know, sometimes you have to weed out the ideas that are not so worthy in order to plant an idea that is worthy of your time, your energy, your growth, not your growth. Well, your growth too, because as you invest time, energy, resources into these projects, you end up growing as a person in that. So what I'm hearing is evaluate those things around you, those projects that you've been working on that are that it's time to pull out of. And what I'm getting to say is that these will be the projects that have a lot of pettiness around them, a lot of competition, things that are feeling competitive, things where people's egos are getting in the way of the project moving forward. Those are the projects that you might want to check out and check in with yourself to see if it might be time to let those go. Because you're not down for this anymore. Like, the egos just get things tangled up, right? There's this quote that I've read, that I've seen, that I've been told, that I've heard, and it's something around synergy and collaboration. And I'm going to butcher it, but it's something around how collaboration isn't about egos getting together and trying to build something together in support of their egos. Collaboration is about the ideas that wouldn't have come to light until everyone got into the same room together and began to talk. Does that make sense? So it's not about, I'm an entrepreneur, I have all this money, I want to create X, Y, and Z, and you get together with other entrepreneurs who have other different ideas, and you're vying for each other's idea to come true or to be the one chosen. And it's more like, no, actually it's about everyone getting together and looking around and saying, who are we and what is it that we want to create together? So it's a shared vision, but it's not one person's vision that everyone else then gets on board with. It's more, what are the ideas that would never have existed had these people never come into the room together? Okay, so that's what I'm getting to say. And that's another thing that you can use to assess these projects. Are these projects in service of the ego, or are these projects in service of the greater good, where egos are being, everyone's acknowledging their talents and their skills, and it's about something greater than that you want to create together. So just some things to think about during this Uranus transit from the June month into the September month for you, dear Leo. I hope that helped. And let me pull a couple of oracle cards for you to give you some allies to work with through the month. The first card we'll pull is an animal card from the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck. Please show us an animal ally that wants to come forward for Leo as she or he navigates this month of June through the month of September 2018 with their Uranus transit. Okay, the card that comes is the raccoon. I'll just be mindful that I'm reading for many different people. This is a general reading, so before I read the book and before I tell you what I associate raccoon with, just take a look at that photo and see, what do you associate raccoon with? Because he's coming in to help. Raccoon energy. Okay. So let me tell you what I see when I look at this card. When I look at this card, I see, a very gentle creature, really, but someone who's adept in the dark and who's kind of taking a vulnerable, protective approach to life right now. Like they're not really showing themselves out in public quite so much. They know when to hide and when to mask. I associate the raccoons with the ability to mask. They're very nocturnal, so I associate them with the night. So maybe, see what happens for you in the nighttime energy. Let me tune into my guide. He's like calling for attention. Tell them it's to know when other people are being this way with you too, when other people aren't telling you 100% fully what the story is. And that can sometimes be the problem with other people in projects, is that, they don't always show all their cards. And so you're kind of wondering, can I trust this? Or is there a hidden agenda here? So getting into your raccoon self and finding those places where you might have hidden agendas, and recognizing when others might have hidden agendas, and really inquiring deeply with your intuition. Raccoon being nocturnal and the night ruled by intuition. Let me read what the book says. See if there's any more messages for you that come through. Raccoon, talented, shadowy, and in hiding. Great. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When in balance, a generous friend, an exceptional artist, when out of balance, competitive, and a starving artist to bring into balance, making new work. Well, that makes sense based on your reading. There's a new thing that wants to come through, and uprooting of the old that's happening. Some of the old, not all of the old. It's 3 of Wands, right? Not 10 of Wands being uprooted. Okay, so the next oracle that I'm going to pull for you guys is from Love Letters to Earth. It's a vibrational oracle, so those of you who like using sacred geometry symbols to meditate, here you go. This is for you. And I highly recommend this deck for any of you who are healers or readers or oracles or, you know, on that plane. Please show us a couple of messages or a message for Leo. Symbol that they can meditate upon during this time of transition and upheaval. Uranus transit June through September 2018. Okay, so the card that comes up is vulnerability. And I'm going to read what it says in the book. Those of you who have been here before, you know that when I use these cards, I usually ask you to take a look at the sacred geometry pattern, the light images. It's drawn in white, right? So it's beautiful light energy, and you can take it into your third eye, you can take it into your throat, your heart, whichever chakra makes sense for you to take it into. Being that it's vulnerability, I would play around with the third chakra, but could be second as well. So I'll read, and you can meditate with the symbol. Let its vibration impact you. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful weapons against intolerance. To trust so much in your love, your purpose, to move towards a balanced and equitable dream every day, and know that on the other side of any fear, what you love, your open heart, is not only what guides you, but what keeps you safe. How can you be more vulnerable? Do others feel safe being vulnerable with you? And do you trust yourself? Okay, so this is, to me, this is speaking to the softness of the raccoon card that I saw. To me, when I see this card, I see a creature that's a little bit shy, looking and kind of seeing, are you a friend or are you a foe? Those eyes are looking out to see, can I trust this? Can I trust this? Can I trust this? And the King of Cups as well. You know, he can be adept with emotions and close himself off because he's so adept, he kind of knows it all sometimes. So you are a king, and yet you're also a human. So where can the king be more vulnerable? To himself and to others who are safe to be vulnerable around. So I'll hold it up one more minute just so you can take another look at that card. I have a friend recently who we were using these cards in session, and she said it's so interesting. That image just, it's the gestalt of vulnerability. It totally makes sense why this image would equal vulnerability. So take it in, allow it to heal you, and allow it to be a guide and a helper for you these next few months. Okay, Leo, thank you so much. Be well, and I'll see you soon. If you need a private reading, all my details are below. Bye.